explode and get my elbow out. Here, I'll just explode out. Once I get my knee in between our bodies, there's not really much he's going to be able to do from that position. So the key is to get your elbow out and then get your knee inside and explode. Let's do it in fast motion. Alright family, now we got to talk about the arm lock position. This is a different type position where he's got an arm lock. He's got one leg, as opposed to both legs being over my body. He's got one leg trapped underneath my ribs, and he's squeezing the knees together here this way. And if you don't think this position works, you know, you can get arm lock from this position. Have somebody do it to you. Trust me, it works. So we have to have a legitimate escape to get out. Now the first thing you want to do once somebody has you in an arm lock is you have to get a grip of your hands. Some grips are better than others. You know, the best grip is going to be if you can block your whole arm off here, this way. Block your whole arm. So almost like you're doing a rear naked choke. This way, block your whole arm off so that he can't pull your arm between your other arm. So this is going to be your best grip, and then also to be able to weave this hand underneath the leg. Here, that's going to be your best grip to have, but it's not always going to be that easy to do it. So in my opinion, you know, any grip is better than no grip. If you're just gripping your like this or this grip or even here, any grip is going to be better than no grip. Now, once I'm here, sometimes it's hard to get out. Let's say he's got, you know, everything's tight and I just have to grip my hands. You know, you got about 5 seconds, if that, to work your way out, because no grip will sustain the pressure that he's going to put on you. So once I'm here, and let's say I can't get out, I can't find another way out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to let go. Now be very careful with this, and you have to practice this a lot so that your timing is right. I'm going to let go, and I'm going to turn my thumb down on the side of his body here. So I'm in this position here. He's got my arm here. I'm going to turn it down like this way, elbow up, turn the thumb down. Don't give him the arm this way. So make sure he's not controlling your hand as you do this. So you want to bring your arm to the side of his body, elbow up, and turn your thumb towards the floor. So now I'm here. I'm going to let go of my hands, and I'm going to turn it down this way. As I turn down, I'm also going to bridge and look away and turn. Bridge, look away, and turn. Let go, bridge, turn, and then raise up to the side of his body. Now, sometimes you get in this position and he may have a better grip. So I'm here, and he may have a better grip and more control of your hand, and you may not be able to get your thumb to that side and get your arm to that side. And if you do that and you fall back, he's got such a good grip, I'm not going to be able to raise up. So in that case, if he's got such a tight grip and I can't get my hand to the other side, you can also just hop over the leg. So you would just use a little bit of momentum. You can pop up, pop here, then this way, because there's nothing trapping your upper body from coming over the top. So you can also do it that way. However, in my opinion, the first way is a little bit better. You're going to have a little bit more success on doing it this way. Now let's do it in fast motion. Okay, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, here's another situation. He's got me in an arm lock. this way. He's got my arm and I'm face down. This can happen a lot of times. Let's say he got me in an arm lock here and he bellied out and you end up face planting over. Now, in order to get out of this, hold on one second. In order to get out of this, you have to, again, understand the nature of submission. And the more you understand submission, the easier it's going to be for you to defend against it. Now, in order for him to submit me with a belly down, is he's going to want my thumb pointed downwards. So if he has the submission here, and he's got the blade of my hand on his stomach here, and my thumb's pointed down, yeah, I'm going to get caught. You know, I'm going to tap out from here because he's got all that leverage on my elbow joint. So the first thing I want to do from here is I want to turn my palm to his chest. Here. And that's just a subtle movement. You won't be able to, like, if you ever seen this type of submission before, or defense before, you don't see that part of the move. And that's the most important detail of getting out of this position, is as I'm here, my thumb's pointing down, the first thing I want to do is turn it up. Turn your hand up, and as if you were going to grab his hair, his chest hair, rather. Grab his chest hair like this. Turn it up. Put your hand right on his chest. Alright, so once I'm in the submission, here, I'm going to turn my hand up. Yeah, I can be able to pull his chest hair right off if I need to. But I'm not. I'm going to get out of the arm lock. I'm here. I'm going to turn my hand up. Now, I'm going to take my other hand, come on this side of his body, put my head on the floor, on the same side of his body, and hop over. Now, even if he still has control of my hand, I'm here. My palm is still on his chest, and he has no arm lock no more. So even if he holds on to the arm, I'm going to have better position on him because I can do things from this position. But I have better position. So the key is to turn your hand underneath his body to where your hand is now on his chest. In fast motion, it will look something like this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have to talk about how to get out of this triangle position from the top. Now, with any submission, you know, if it's too late, it's just too late. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it, really, except tap out. This is one of them submissions that if you don't get out fast enough, you will be caught. So this is an urgent submission. As soon as you get caught, it's not a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time because you're in such a disadvantaged position. He has his weight all on your upper body, your face. It's very difficult. So once you get here, you have to act fast. Okay, so now my opponent has the triangle on me from the top. Now, if you understand submission, the triangle, in order for it to work, your arm has to be on this side of the body. So understanding that, the first thing I want to do is I want to get my arm on this side and lock his hip down so he can't push my elbow across. As long as I can lock it down and get my elbow on the side of his hip, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for him to push my arm across. So the first thing I want to do is I want to lock my hands and lock his hip down. Now, it's still a lot of pressure on my neck. So I want to take away some of that pressure. So I'm going to take my hand, dig inside his thigh, get the other one inside, and just pull his thigh off the side of my neck. Now I can breathe. Now, once I can breathe, I catch my breath, I'm okay. Now I'm ready to go. I got to get out of this position. I can't stay here because he will find a way to submit you if you stay here long enough. So this buying this time, you only want to buy yourself like maybe 3 to 5 seconds just so you can catch your breath. But you got to get out of here because this is a dangerous position. So after I've bought my time, my elbow's still locked down on his hip. I want to re-grip my hands, pull them down a little bit. Now I want to bridge. Now I'm going to use both feet. I can use both feet on this bridge because I'm not worried about him grapevining the legs because his legs are around my neck. So I'm going to bridge, take both feet. I'm going to bridge as deep as I can, as high and as deep as I can. And I'm going to look to the side and I'm going to roll. Now once I roll, I'm not going to stop here and try to get out because from here, if you stop here, it's going to go whoop. and he's gonna lock up the triangle. So I'm not done rolling until my elbow hits the floor. Once my elbow hits the floor, I keep pushing forward, and I block the legs. Now what may happen is that once you start to roll, you know, he may have longer arms or a little bit stronger base, and he may stop you from being able to roll them. So you have to have an answer for that. So once he comes here, and let's say I block his hip down, I can breathe, I start to roll, and he bases out a little bit. Once he bases out, here you can no longer roll, but you still want to continue to bridge because that's creating space in his legs. Now with that space, what I need to do is I need to utilize that space, and I want to make a quick turn with my upper body here. Just take my arm and turn all the way here. If you can see, as I'm here like this, as I base, I just turn underneath here. Then once I'm here, I'm going to take my opposite hand and put it on his foot so he can't use that to go switch his submission to an arm lock or relock his triangle. I just want to keep my hand on his foot, then bail out, get out of there. I've created enough space, I've created a scramble, I want to get out of there. But initially, your better option to getting out of the position is going to be to roll him, block the hip, and escape the position past the guard. Put him flat on his back. Now in fast motion so you guys can see it. Alright guys, I found myself in the wrap position and I don't want to be here. Now the key for me to getting out of this position is to create some space and try to get off on my side. As long as he has my shoulders on the floor and he's putting a lot of pressure on my neck and I allow him to get that far into the move, it's done. I'm going to have to tap out. But for now, the first thing I want to do is I want to get my forearm into his hip because I don't want it to get his hip involved and putting that pressure on me. I can pretty much deal with, I'm hoping I can deal with just his arm strength and his upper body. But if he gets his hip involved, it's going to be hard for me to get that pressure off. So the first thing I want to do is get my forearm into his hip. Now once my forearm's into his hip, now I'm only dealing with his upper body strength and in his back and, you know, and that pressure there. So I'm here. Now let's turn a little bit this way. All right. So now I have that in there, I'm starting to push this off. Now because he's got so much attention up on my head, it leaves room for my hips to move. I can move my hips. So I'm pushing off here, and I'm starting to get my hips out. So even though all of the tension is up here on my face and on my upper body, I can get my hips out. So I'm pushing here, starting to get my hips out. Now once I get my hips out far enough to where I can get my hand that's trapped on his knee, that's my goal, is to get my hand on this knee. Because now I can push off here and break the lock. So I'm starting here, I'm pushing off on his hip and moving my hips out. Now I have room to get this hand on the knee and further push away and break off. Let's do a different angle. Let's come this way. Let's turn a little bit more. There we go. So I'm here. I'm pushing off here, getting my hips out. Now my hand goes on his knee. I can push off on the knee, keep pushing here, push here, and get my hips out. And break that grip. Then I can go and replace my guard, and I'm out of the wrap. That's the important part.